Hello, welcome to Celebration Circle.
Another beautiful experience live and online on sunny South Texas. It's a beautiful day here. Wherever you are, whoever you are, we hope you feel welcomed and affirmed by our time together with our wonderful guest artist and speaker, Tom Ricks. Hello, Tom.
Hey, how are you doing?
We're good. It's a beautiful day here. I guess you're not that far away from us up in San Marcos, right? Let's
Yep.
Back from your travels to Colorado and before that to France and
France.
your artist resident, Mr. Art on Wheels. Wherever he is, he's always in motion, even if he's in the same place. And then we're so delighted to have Laura Marie back with us, sharing her amazing voice and poetry and music.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here. Good to see your faces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good to be with you. So we're going to start with our song "Come Celebrate," and we'll see you both back here shortly.
Come celebrate, gather together, come celebrate, one by one, come celebrate, now and forever, let us remember we are one. Come celebrate, join in a circle, come celebrate, side by side, come celebrate, now and forever, let us remember we are one. Celebrate, celebrate, come celebrate, 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 come celebrate, 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 come celebrate, yes, celebrate, celebrate, come celebrate, come celebrate, gather together, come celebrate, heart open wide, come celebrate, now and forever, let us remember we are one. We are one. We are one.
Oh, feels good to be grounded in this moment of celebration. And so we invite you to join us in our invocation of, O Great Spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea. You are inside and all around me. We'll sing that once for each of the four directions as we honor Mother Earth in this place that we're so blessed to call home. And we'll sing it a fifth time for that divine within each one of us. So if you're physically able to stand and turn and face into the directions, please do so. But join us as we begin by turning into the direction of the rising sun, the east, the new beginnings, and the infinite possibilities everywhere. Together,
Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me.
then we turn and face the south, the direction of the noonday sun, of abundance, of well being.
Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me.
And now we turn and face to the west, the direction of the setting sun, of letting go of the past, of opening up to the mystery of what comes next.
Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me.
And then we face into the north, into that direction of midnight, of darkness, of challenges that are always present everywhere, calling us to stand firm in this present moment.
Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea. You are inside and all around me.
And then we turn within. We turn into the realm of spirit, into the infinite now, the divine that is unfolding within us, around us, through us.
Oh, great spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me. O great spirit, O holy one, O holy wonder, you who we call so many different names. We come from different places with different understandings of who you are and how you are in our lives, but with a common longing to be ever more open and receptive to your love, the one light flowing to us, through us, now.
We join with all of creation, with the two-leggeds and the four-leggeds, the winged ones, the ones that swim and crawl with rocks, trees, grasses, seas, skies, oceans, stars, with the universe. With all of life, we affirm our oneness. We affirm we are one. Together, we are one. And once again, we are one. As we feel into this moment, as we feel into the creativity, into this beautiful day that we've been gifted, we remember that we're here. We honor and nurture the sacred in ourselves, each other, and all of creation. And for this, we say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so it is.
And now, from this place of open-heartedness, we welcome the beautiful voice and spirit of Laura Marie, sharing her song, Unending.
Lay down your arms, they brace your heart. Lay down your life and living stars. You're still the same, unending. Tear down the walls, your heart in hand. Tear off your clothes, they're not the man. You're still the same, unending. 'Cause maybe there's yes inside of every no, and maybe there's stop and go inside your soul. But I've got a plan. I've got a plan. Take up your fears and follow me. Take on this world you're meant to be. You're still the same, unending. 'Cause maybe there's yes inside of every no, and maybe there's stop and go inside your soul. Maybe there's yes inside of every no, and maybe there's stop and go inside your soul. But I've got a plan. I've got a plan. I've got a plan.
Thank you so much, Laura Marie. It was beautiful. So, our poem today is again from this beautiful book by Dave Orsio, God Whispers on the Wind. And this is one of his own poems called Connectivity. The more you reveal your true self, the more that others and really the more that this entire world can become one with you. So air your soul's flag, those glorious colors where your neighbors can see it. And then weary travelers might just stagger to your sturdy stoop and wipe their feet upon the bristled welcome mat that leads them into your holy name. Now, just imagine what magnificent good could come from that. The more you reveal your true self, the more that others and really the more that this entire world can become one with you. Mm. So we take a moment now to breathe into our communion breath, this time together, this metaphysical moment of our oneness, and acknowledging that together as we breathe together, as we remember that we are literally breathing in the same air, as we are inhaling love and possibility and potential, and we are exhaling and letting go of anything that no longer serves us. So we'll take 4 deep, long communal breaths together. And as we inhale, I invite you not to just ingest the air, but to fully digest it, to take it in, to breathe it in to every cell and fiber of your being. And then as you exhale, to let go and release and step right into this beautiful present moment that we have here together. And so we'll breathe in at the sound of the Tibetan bowl, and then we'll breathe out. And then we'll breathe again at the sound of the bowl each time. So let's begin with a deep inhale. Again. And again. And as we breathe together, we remember that truly we are one. Thank you. Now invite Laura Marie back for another song, Everyone Gets Lonely.
It's been a long, 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 long road since anyone decided. Ooh. But we love, love, love the life that apathy provided. And while some may drift apart and others crash like waves, we cannot hold the tide, keep each other safe. Alert, awake, alive, lying here beneath, between, beside, what's wrong and what is right. Before our eyes are open, do they even see? 'Cause all adrift at sea, and everyone gets lonely. Set your course for me, even if you only change direction slowly. Brave the raging sea. Set your course for me. Talk, talk, talk about the burdens that we bear. Live, live, live without compassion anywhere. Insistence bearing down, resistance wearing out, and all of our alarms are sounding loud now. Alert, awake, alive, lying here beneath, between, beside, what's wrong and what is right. Before our eyes are open, do they even see? 'Cause all adrift at sea, and everyone gets lonely. Set your course for me, even if you only change direction slowly. Brave the raging sea. Set your course for me. 'Cause I will be your guide. I will be your guide. Oh, I will be alert, awake, alive, lying here beneath, between, beside, what's wrong and what is right. Before our eyes are open, do they even see? All adrift at sea, and everyone gets lonely. Set your course for me, even if you only change direction slowly. raging sea. Change direction slowly. Brave the raging sea. Set your course for me.
Thank you. Another beautiful song, Laura Marie. Oh, lift our hearts up. Yes, you do. So I want to just take a moment now to welcome our dear friend Thom Ricks, who has spent his life living his passion for creativity and traveling the world and teaching and building networks of people connected and spiritually explorating, he calls it. I love that phrase, explorating. There we go. So he's always lifts my heart and my spirit and inspires me every time that we get to hear his words of wisdom. So join me in welcoming Thom Ricks.
Good morning, Circle. How are you doing today? And it's a pleasure for me to be here. But what I'd like to do is talk about something that I've had a lot of people ask me questions about. And the title of my talk today is Navigating the Creative Wheel, or in essence, navigating my creative will, and hopefully you will adapt it to something that may work for you. But what I'd like to do is that I've got an easel behind me. I'm going to try to move it up, see if it's a little closer. But it's kind of an introduction to this idea. For the last 24 years, I've been doing the artist way. And so from that particular book and process and doing that, I've sort of gleaned information that is sort of how I came up with the wheel in variations for my own self. But so every Monday morning, I take a blank sheet of paper and create what I call my creative wheel for the week. So I'm going to drag this a little closer, and I'm hoping that you can all read it. But what I do is it's basically blank. So I'll show you where it began this Monday. And then what I do is anytime I take an activity in one of these slices of pie, I color in the green. But basically, I start from a center. I myself use God, Goddess, Great Spirit, Great Creator, Great Collaborator as my radiating center. So that's what the yellow is in the middle. You can name it whatever you want to for yourself. But then what I do is I kind of create what I call, what I'm looking for is more of a balanced creative week, as opposed to jobs, family, all different kinds of aspects. So over the years, I've created these sort of 12 topics, and they change weekly and sometimes monthly, but by and large, this is kind of where I am today. So what I'll start with is that after I realize that I'm willing to ask for help from whatever name you want to call your belief system or your source or your supply. Then what I do is I usually go up to here is what I call the relationships. One slice of the pie is what I would like to receive from my relationship with Jody. And the other slice is what she's asked for. So what can I give to that part of the relationship? And so each time that I feel like that I've begun to address either one of those, I color in every day. And so you can see, obviously, this week was a pretty good week. Down here in these two sections, and I'll explain it a little bit more, the various things. This is what I call my spiritual time. In the morning, every morning, I basically have probably 10, 15 minutes where I do my morning pages. Then I read an artist prayer from the Artist Way book. Then what I'll do is I'll say a series of affirmations. Then other things that I do, there's probably about 8 or 10 things that I do, what I call every morning if I get a chance, then I'll color it in. And so there's no guarantee, but the idea is at the end of the week on Sunday, I can see how last week was in a creative way. Over here in this section is what I call am I spiritually fed? So that's could be like talking today. In fact, there is here the talk on Sunday. So once I'm done today, I'll color that in that I'm hoping that it may encourage you or you may sense something from it that you can adapt to your life. But it's really where I'm spiritually fed. So for example, if circle is where you're spiritually fed, then you would color that in that you're listening to this talk today, and you can kind of color that in. Every morning at 8 o'clock, I call in with a group of people and we have a prosperity prayer. So I've been doing that for about a year and a quarter. And so that's part of my spiritual practice. Over here is how I handle my finances. Now, if you've ever heard me talk before, this is something that I struggled with quite a bit as being an artist. And so I have what I call my financial sobriety. Here is the bills that got paid. Here is the income that came in. So I'm aware of how I'm handling my finances. And so that's important to me on my wheel. That may not be important to you, but it is to me. Over here is jobs. So if I'm working on some commissions or I'm working for an art show that's coming up, I will click in there and you can see that I didn't complete that completely. But over here, which is we've been doing a lot of building and remodeling here, putting in a new studio, a new living room, and a new tool room. So this part got used a lot. And so I'm getting a little bit out of balance from over here, but it's just an awareness. And next week I'll see if it changes or so forth like this. So basic relationships, finances, jobs. Here's the artist way part. I'm in two particular groups. One is in Dallas and one is in Australia. And we're going through the book together. And so anytime I'm working on that, I'll do my morning pages and we'll check in on Monday and Wednesday night how we did each week. So spiritual time, finances, relationship, then home and families here, jobs are here, creative time. Now, what I mean by creative time, am I making art just for the joy of making art? Or am I only focused on making art to bring in income? And so here is just creativity. Could be gardening, it could be making music. If you're doing something, what I call to just nurture your artist self, as opposed to will it bring an income, that's where right here. So I got quite a bit of painting time this week, not for any particular reason other than the joy of painting and putting paint on a canvas. So that's an important part to me. Over here is health, wellness, and mobility. So in that particular area, how am I doing there? And it could be exercise. It could be, I thoroughly enjoy working on the land. So that's part of that. And over here is, of course, building and rebuilding, which is kind of like a hobby, but it's something I really enjoy doing. So it's on my wheel. So anyway, we've got these particular things. And so all I'm really looking at is how I'm doing balance-wise creatively. And so from this, I'm taking a look at is an area like the rebuilding aspect, I'm really going overkill. On yours, it could be your job is taking up your whole amount of time. It could be your family. It could be all different aspects, could be overloaded, and you're, for me, not in a creative balance sort of way. So you can kind of see how this sort of works. And so from here, what I'm going to ask you to consider doing is you can either use what I did or in turn begin to play with. But I'm going to show you one more thing. So along with what I call the creative wheel, every quarter I create Living My Dream. And so this was July, August, and September. So this in conjunction with my creative wheel blend together. Now, when I started this was all blank. We're at the beginning of a brand new quarter for me. So October, November, December. So what I did on Monday is I created a new Living My Dream chart. Of course, I like visual things and I like to color. So you can kind of begin to see, but here's the finances. Here are all the different aspects that are on the wheel. And not every week do the same things appear on the wheel. I adjust, things like that work out. But this is a way in which I blend the two processes together to help me not only stay focused, but it helps me move in the direction of what I would call living my dream. And part of that is being a professional artist and being creative, where I can go to France and I can go to Colorado for a month to go paint, just to kind of try it out. So it's it sort of is an essence, and Laura Marie in her song talked about the path or the compass. It sort of has, the wheel is sort of a little bit like a compass on a sailboat, or whatever metaphor you want to use, but you constantly get to adjust it and kind of work it out. So this is a pretty quick approach to what it looks like, but I'll begin tomorrow morning with a brand new one, a creative week for the next one. So here's what I want to kind of introduce. I'm going to see if I can do this okay. I may need to raise it up. Let me see if I can do that. So sort of in the conclusion to this talk, which is pretty brief. I want you to consider this week to create a creative wheel. And I want you to get a plate, put it on a piece of paper, and basically be able to divide it into 12 slices of a pie. I would like you to number 1 and 2, number 1 through 12. I'd like you to name your source. If you don't have one, you can put "Oh Great Spirit," kind of like when you began the service. But if you've got another name you prefer to use, put that as your radiating center. And so what I mean by that is a helping hand, a friend, or someone you're willing to ask for help to show that this kind of creative life is possible, even though you may go, "It's not possible, Thom, whatever." I'm going to ask you to suspend any kind of what I call doubt or having to know the logic of it, because this is just whatever. So from that radiating center, then what I'd like you to do is number 1 and 2. So 1 and 2, I want you to know, 1 is if in a relationship, what would you like to see from your partner? And you can put it in pencil if you're not real sure, but ultimately, I'd like you to kind of go, man, if this was kind of like love language, what would that look like that I would love to sense that I feel loved or wanted, or things like this. Number 2, what is your partner? What have you heard them say that they feel that you are loving to them? Or what is their love language? And so number 1 and 2 is about relationships. And be honest with yourself. You don't have to share with anybody else. If you want to color in, or if you got nothing there, at the end of the week, just realize, wow, is this important to me? Or is this something I want to work on and begin to become more aware of and adapt? Number 3 is what I call home and family. I myself use the word homestead or stewardship. I love taking care of the land. So usually in number 3 is that, but you may have a different name, or your family, and it could be kids, different aspects, could be parents, however but just be aware of how much family time is being taken, and is it something you want to do? Number 4 is your job. So if you're working still, or if you're retired, whatever it is, how much of that is using and taking up what I call your creative time. Number 5 is, are you creating? Are you doing things that in turn are for yourself? Are you making art, making music, gardening, whatever is your art form that you love, or you don't even know? See how well you're doing in that area. Number 6, I call it a book club, but I call it Artist Way. If you're doing the Artist Way, try it for 1 week, doing morning pages, artist date, artist walks, and things like that. And that's number 6. Number 7 and 8 is your spiritual time. Number 7 is, where are you spiritually fed? Number 8 is, do you have a spiritual practice on a daily basis? I do. It's every morning. I have about 10 things that I do. Some is affirmation, some is prayer, some is meditation. But are you doing it? And so that's number 8. Number 9 is, what would you love to do if you had the time? I myself like to build things and remodel things. So that's there. You may choose something else. Number 10 is, how are you paying your bills? Number 11 is, are you receiving income to be able to manage that? So how are you balanced in that area? Number 12 is what I call health, wellness, and mobility. How are you doing in that? Are you exercising? Are you taking care of yourself? Or in turn, is it an area you don't have time in your current life? So this is only a guide to help you become aware of what your life is like and where do you want to make adjustments. So this is all pretty quick, but this is what I do every Monday, and I've been probably doing it now for 10 years. And you can kind of see that tomorrow morning, I'll take my green marker, or this afternoon, and I'll color that in because I finished this particular talk. And I hope you find it inspiring. Anyway, and I think there's probably a site there, if it's so quick that you would like to know more, that I'm sure Zette would pass it on to me, and I'll be trying to explain a little more. So I think that feels like I communicated what I was hoping to express and get you to become a little bit more aware and see how you are navigating your creative life or your life in general. So with that, I'll turn it back to Zette, and we'll see if how this works. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Thom. Wow, that is true inspiration and a good challenge too for me, especially to have a visual way to think about all those things I do. I mean, I make lists, but to have the the wheel as a guide for that is really good for me to see that, and the colors too. I gotta say, I love the colors.
Yeah. I like color, but one of the things that's nice is you become aware, and each week it's some changes, there's some tweaking, some things you may want to add, but you begin to become aware of more where you're spending your time. And are you choosing to do that, or is it being chosen for you?
Oh, good point. Oh, I deal with that one. Yeah. And I love the fact that too that you don't it's like you don't just color in the box, you color outside the wheel, because life can't be contained inside that line of the shape of the plate, and that we do spill out into many other directions and places.
Well, probably when I began, I bet jobs and other things were way out here. And I go, man, I'm way. In fact, that's really the exercise in the artist way, is how well other things are taking over your life. And so there's an awareness from this that you go, wow, that whole area is really way out there. And I would like to have more, and I use the term creative balance, but you can use any name you want to. And some of these change on a weekly basis. It's not the same thing every week, but it's getting fairly consistent now.
And just for clarification, the book that Thom's talking about is The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and it's been around for decades and is great source of. There we go.
Wait a minute.
She has several books. Yeah.
We're currently the group in Australia, in Dallas. We're doing the second part, Walking in This World, right now. So we're in week number 9. But
yeah, so great. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it, and we'll see you back in a moment.
Okay, thanks.
We're going to do a little meditation. So I invite you now to just settle into that, and whether it feels to you like, oh, another task, another thing to do, or you feel like, oh, this is so exciting, and I have a direction and a place to put my energies in looking at my life and who I am and how I function on a daily basis. But just no matter what your feelings are about it, just for a moment, take a quiet breath or two. open your mind and your heart and feel your willingness to perceive and to receive this free flowing spirit of love and creativity and inspiration moving through you. And as you, right now, allowing more and more of divine spirit to come into physical manifestation. We tend to speak about this divine as if it were sometimes separate from us, as if it were something that needed to be filled from the outside. But remember that in this moment, in all moments, all we have to do is remember to rest, to relax, and to release any illusion that we are separate from the source. Allow yourself to be open and willing to perceive with clarity that you are already whole and complete and filled with divine love, with divine spirit. This is who you truly are, who you have always been, one with all of life, one with that creative source that it lives within you, that is you. Take a moment now to feel the fullness of spirit flowing in and through this place where you are sitting or standing or lying, and that is moving in and through you right now, through this body. And won't you see with the eyes of your heart, see with renewed clarity that you are connected. You are connected to the all and the everything. Feel that this moment contains the potential for newness in all areas of your life. Allow it to radiate out from that center, that place that Thom talked about, and allow the potential for newness in and balance in all those areas, in your home, in your family, in your job, in your finances, in your spiritual life, in your work and play. Allow this new way of seeing your life, new way of being in your life, this renewal that brings you to your home and your family and your co-workers and your body, affecting and infecting you and everyone around you with hope and faith and love won't you feel this truth as you rest in the silence now? And from this place of peace, power, won't you send your love out into the world, blessing as you have been blessed, seeing others as you have been seen, as a divine spark of the sacred, as that radiating center fills you, allow it to flow out and touch others. Open and willing to perceive and receive the truth of our oneness. Today, tomorrow, and all of our tomorrows. And so it is, and so it shall be. So we take a moment now to lift up our offerings, the gifts that we have to share with the circle community. We lift up our thanks, our gratitude, our love, our blessings, our prayers. As we sing, in all things, give thanks.
In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks. 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 In all things give thanks. From deep within, feeling gratitude for all the gifts in our lives. In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks. 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 In all things give thanks. Give thanks for the gift of life. The one light shines through all of creation, with hands and hearts open wide. We lift our voices in celebration. In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks. 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 In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks.
So we lift up the offering basket with many gifts, with the many prayers, the names and situations. You can send those in to us at Celebration Circle. You can put put them in the comments right now. You can hold them in your heart and lift them up. You can donate by going to our website or right here on Facebook or YouTube. You can many ways to give your financial gifts to support the work of the circle. And for this, we are grateful, so very grateful. As we speak the words, I give to you, O Spirit, as you have given to me, with heart wide open. Together, I give to you, O Spirit, as you have given to me, with heart wide open. And now we invite Laura Marie back for a beautiful song, Be Love.
Oh, I see you every day, in person or in pictures, your eyes always the same, asking me to lend a hand. Well, you fall deeper and deeper, and I'm frozen where I stand, and I don't want to be. 'Cause when I see you cry, I cry. Aren't your tears same as mine? Can you hear me sing? I want the words to reach your ears, and may they bring you back to life, where there is injury, poverty, dying and despair, and let me be love. And where there is darkness, sadness, hopelessness, wickedness, and hatred, let me be love. Let me be love. Sometimes we feel beaten by the world. It gets colder than we think it should. We push further and further away. But a million stars that seem far by day shine brighter the darker the night. I want to be that light, where there is injury, poverty, dying and despair, and let me be love. And where there is darkness, sadness, hopelessness, wickedness, and hatred, let me be love. And where there is injury, poverty, dying and despair, then let me be love. Where there is darkness, sadness, hopelessness, wickedness, and hatred, let me be love. Let me be love. Let me be love. Let me be love.
Thank you again, Laura Marie. It just touches my heart. Let me be love. Let us all be love. Right now, we can use lots more love everywhere in our lives. So, I have a few things to share with you. And I think I want to thank Carl for posting in the comments section on Facebook. You can find out more about Laura Marie's music there at her website that he's posted, and as well as tomricks.com. And I have a few questions for him here as we bring him back at the end. Our Sacred Art of Altars can be viewed online. The exhibit and auction until next Friday. And from 7 to 8 next Friday, we're having our grand finale. Um, Artists on interviewing and talking about work and final bidding. And I just want to share with you a couple things. This one is the one that altar that Thom did this year, which is Namaste, the Christ in me greets the Christ in you. It is painted. Look at the sides, are just so beautiful. And he's put these wood pieces into the inside, and there's one of his beautiful paintings and his handwriting, and it's just a gorgeous altar. So it is available online. Let's see, I'll go the other way and let you see this side for bidding right now. And I just got a message that we sold an altar just now. So thank you. Very exciting. Yeah, a couple of them I'll show you today. This one is by Beverly Meyer. It's called Peace is Beautiful. She works in glass and tile mosaics and with sacred objects. So you can see the top is as beautiful as the sides and the background. Another beautiful piece. And last, we just got a new altar in from artist Lisa Nigro. And this one is a bit political in nature, but heartfelt and gorgeous in its application of what it is. The title is Can't Breathe, and she's done clay. There's a face here on the top you can see, and the drawings and collage of the lungs and the heart resting in clay on the chains, and the butterflies allowing us to remember the freedom that comes in being able to breathe and find our freedom in our breath. And that there are those who cannot breathe and have not been allowed to breathe. So another powerful piece. So bid now, bid often, bid high. Wednesday meditation circle. It happens every night, Wednesday night at 7:30 to 8 with Graham Whitley and Angel Santiago. So you can find them on Facebook Live each week. Next Sunday, October 11th, Casey James and Michael Madison will be sharing what's going on. And just a hint that one of the songs Michael's going to be doing is What's Going On, which is one of my favorites. But the title is What's Going On, and just a little bit, it's the chaos, the confusion, and finding our way back to center. And through grief work, both Casey and Michael remind us and how to seek peace in the pandemonium. So that's next Sunday here at 11. The Mandala Intention Workshop with Natalie Burtonshaw is happening Monday, October the 12th from 6 to 8. And that's a Zoom workshop. So you can find that in our Celebration Circle Facebook page under events and join us. It's a really wonderful time to set your intention, to do some collage work and create a mandala that inspires you and your creativity, kind of following through on today's theme. And last but not least, we are holding our first public gathering since March outside, and we've taken the SA Safer Greater pledge. So we will be taking temperatures, providing masks if you don't have one, wash hand sanitizer. We will have lots of that, social distancing. And that is on Sunday, October 25th, 11 o'clock, 11 to noon at the Josky Pavilion in Brackenridge Park.
And for those of you who haven't been there, it's just one of the loveliest spots in the park, which is one of the loveliest spots in the city. It's right by the river crossing. You'll be seeing geese and ducks and herons walk by and children playing. And
we even got a call that there were the Parks and Rec needed to notify us that there were egrets nesting nearby. So they wanted to make sure we were aware that in case we had an objection to that. And I said, no, we have no objection to egrets nesting.
So, and if you have any doubts or hesitations about being in public in the COVID times, the setting is such that you could sit 10, 20 yards away from the pavilion and still hear the music and participate in the gathering and be completely socially distanced and sitting in about as beautiful a setting as you could be.
And our guest speaker is Hal Robinson, and he will be sharing Words Are Magic with us. And the Circle Band and Rudy will be doing some magic music.
For the first time since
March
Oh my
March
goodness.
21st, I think, March 19th, something like
I'll tell
that.
you, the musicians are looking forward to playing together for you. So we hope you'll be there and consider inviting a friend or a loved one, family member to join us at that place.
And I'm just going to put a little plug in here because we are going to need some volunteers that day to help with the temperatures and the the logistics of
which will be different.
There are picnic tables there in the pavilion, but you can bring your own chair, and because they're a little awkward, they're really long, and so we'll probably kind of push them out to the sides and allow you to bring your chairs and sit. So we're very excited. We'll be together, holding back our hugs and connecting by elbows and our smiles with our eyes.
Fist bumps.
Yeah. So hope you'll join us then. And last but not least, I'm going to bring Thom and Laura Marie back, and we're going to sing Love is the Only Power together.
Love is the only power. Love is the only way. Love, 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 love. Watch our circle grow. Love is the only power. Love is the only way. Love, 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 love. Watch our circle grow.
So we remember wherever we are, wherever we go, that we love you, we bless you, we see the light in you. Go in peace. Thank you both for being with us.
Oh, I've had a wonderful time, Thom. I loved all your ideas. As I was listening to you, I was just thinking, I already know that my balance is as good as I need to do that, so I have a visual. Just a very, very.
I discovered the same thing. So the awareness is first, then you get to choose. Do I want to adjust, or do I want to, especially with your creativity, are you doing that, or are you being the responsible, all this other things, and forgetting what I call the creative child?
Yeah. And I'm going to get that book too. I need to get that. I've heard that book enough. This was the one that was just like spoke loudest to me. I've been hearing the name of the book, and I'm like, okay, well, that's it.
I've got to tell you, I'm doing The Artist Way for the second time right now. I'm in week 8 with a group of 6 others, and it's been a very powerful re-kickstarter for my creative energy. I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll see if I can get some.
And if at all possible, Marie, find a friend or a couple of friends to do it with you.
Yeah, I'm thinking of
the process, and it helps to have a friend to say, "Hey, next Tuesday, every Tuesday or whatever is what we do." But once a week, check in with each other and see, because it's powerful work and it's work.
Yeah.
It's work.
Okay, I will definitely take that. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Thank you. But thanks for having me. It's always
a pleasure. You always add such a powerful spirit, and of course you're beautiful, your words and melody, but it's the spirit you bring that makes all the difference. It's a blessing to have you. Thank you.
Thank you both, and thank you, Thom. I took lots of notes. Now let me ask you this: Can you send me a photograph of the wheel with the numbers on it that you showed, and then I will post it on on our Facebook page
And
Okay.
send it out.
and send it out in our around the circle.
Okay. Yep.
Because I will either this afternoon or tomorrow morning, I'll send out a reminder that if people missed today, they can see it, and I'll attach it to that.
And part of the idea is to watch your behaviors for a week. And then obviously, if you go, wow, this is really enlightening, then you begin to watch it for a couple of weeks. And that's when you can begin to make what I call some adjusting to, is this really how I want to live? Or, you know what I'm kind of implying there a little bit.
Well, here comes the train, so I guess it's time for us to sign off because it's going to get really loud. So blessings to you both, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oops. Thank you for being with us.